Hi, I'm Rodney Baker, Sales Director for H&H Homes in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Over the next several series of videos, we'll be talking about the GEMS program that H&H Homes has developed over the last year. The GEMS program simply means Great Expectations Management Systems. We all know as realtors that when we have clients that they have great expectations. We also know that we have to somehow or another manage those expectations. This is simply a system to help you manage those great expectations. Therefore, the H&H GEMS program. The GEMS program is split up into three different parts: the purchasing phase, the construction phase, and the closing phase. Basically, what I'll be doing today is taking you through the manual so that you will be able to work better with your clients and help them experience a more smooth and lasting and memorable buying process. The first thing we'll do is begin to look through the book, and I will take you page by page with explanations of that. As you open your GEMS booklet, you'll notice that you have a welcome from the owners of H&H Homes, Ralph and Linda Huff. We at H&H Homes are very proud of the product that we've developed over the years. And this is just a welcome from the owners, letting you know that how much we appreciate you purchasing one of our H&H Homes. As you look next, you will see a table of contents. This is going to be a guide through the different phases of the book. But what we would like to get into right now is the first phase, or the phases of the building process. As I mentioned before, we've put it into three different categories: the purchasing phase, the construction phase, and the closing phase. Now, depending on when you buy a home, you as an agent, you realize that your client might buy a home that is not even started yet. They live in Hawaii, for example, and they might be looking to do a pre-sale. That process might take 6 months. It might take them 2 months to get here to make selections, another 4 months for us to build the home. However, there are situations where you have a client and, for example, it might be a cash deal. We've done several of those this year. I think the quickest we've closed a home this year is in 17 days. So the timeline may vary depending on where your clients come in at the process. So anywhere from 6 months to just a couple of weeks. So along that timeline, we'll look and we'll begin to break things down. The first thing that we'll talk about today is the purchasing phase. If you'll look on page 5 of the booklet, you will notice that we first began to talk about the purchase agreement. Now, obviously, we encourage all of our new home buyers and our cross-sell agents to use the H&H contract. However, we know that through habit and through just means of your own, there will be contracts that we will receive that are not on the H&H Homes contract. We understand that, and we are willing to accept all contracts. However, we do encourage that. One of the things that we are requiring, however, whether you choose to use our contract or one of your own, is that you use Addendum A. That is something that we will be requiring. Now, what does Addendum A discuss and what does it talk about? Addendum A basically talks about 4 different things, okay? The first thing that Addendum A addresses is that it lets your buyer know that they do have the right and the privilege to visit the property during the construction process and be able to look at things and see how things are going on. Now look guys, we understand this. We understand that when we make a deal and we accept a contract with one of your buyers, that when we shake their hand, it's a two-way street. We're asking them to get qualified in a timely manner, to stay qualified, to do the things that it takes for a buyer to walk through the process and close on a home successfully. But also, like I mentioned, a two-way street, they expect us to do things like we have promised that we would do. Build their house in the order that they asked that it be built. Use the materials that we agreed that we would use to build the home. So it is a two-way street. Because of that, they are allowed to visit the property. However, we ask that they let our new homes consultant know when they will be visiting the property, and they visit the property at a safe time. Really don't want guys going out with framing going on or different things like that. It becomes a liability issue, and therefore we try to encourage that we know they're going out and it's at a safe time. The second thing on Addendum A basically says this. It says that you can use a home inspector, but the home inspector needs to be a licensed North Carolina real estate or home inspector. Here's the thing. We all know that there's clients out there, that you've had clients who are from Oklahoma or from Tennessee or from wherever across the United States whose uncle, brother's cousin used to build homes. And sometimes they have a tendency to come in and they inspect the home and turn in a list and say, these are the things that need to be fixed on this home. That doesn't work. We need a licensed North Carolina home inspector. We know since the beginning of the year, this year being 2011, is that we have the due diligence now. It used to be that we would have about 2 out of every 10 homes that would be home inspected, but because of the due diligence now, I would say probably 6 out of every 10 homes are having a home inspection. So, licensed home inspector. The third thing that it talks about is that there will be, before they close on the home, a new home orientation, that the homeowner will be taken through the home in a proper manner, introduced to how the home operates and works, and so it lets them know up front that they will be able to have plenty of time to inspect the home before they close. And the fourth thing is this: as in many of our neighborhoods, because competition changes, prices change, because of competition, specs change, because of competition and the marketplace, just the type of homes that we might build as far as the size of those homes in a particular neighborhood might change. Therefore, it's important that when your clients are signing this contract, they understand that exactly what home they are getting. The specs might be different than the one they looked at in the model home based on the different phase of the neighborhood and the evolution of that neighborhood. So, number 4 just basically says, please understand, Mr. and Mrs. Homebuyer, that what are the specs that you're buying in this house? What is the size of this house compared to the other homes in the neighborhood, or any changes that might have occurred, and that those changes might occur without notice. And it's important to follow up and be sure that you understand everything dealing with your new home consultant. So we do ask for Addendum A as part of the contract, okay? Now, once your contract is signed, one of the things that we'll look to do, or as it's being signed, is we will consult with the field superintendent, and we'll look and see and make sure that we know the proper closing date. It might be that we know when a home is supposed to finish that's under construction and maybe has about 5 weeks to go, but your clients are in Texas and are PCS in here or moving here, and therefore we might want to put a stop of construction on it and move the closing date back. So at the time of our conversation and in negotiating the home, we'll establish what we feel like is a reasonable closing date. Now, also in the back of your booklet that you'll find an insert that is the warranty procedure flyer. Now, this is not your warranty book, okay? This is not the warranty manual. It tells you where you can locate the warranty manual on our website electronically so you can look at it, and all new home buyers will receive the warranty book, a hard copy of that, when they do their new home orientation. What this simply does is it lets them know where they can locate it. It also lets them know in the book where or how the procedure works when putting in a warranty issue or warranty item. Another insert that you'll find in the back of the GEMS booklet is the preferred lender for H&H Homes. Homefront Mortgage is our preferred lender. And there are many reasons why we choose to use them as our preferred lender. Several of maybe an interest to you is the fact that your buyers can get access to their mortgage guys 24/7. Pretty much not a time where they can not have their needs met with a quick phone call and someone to actually talk to. Another example of why we choose to use Homefront Mortgage as our preferred lender is that they're used to the military market that we serve. They do all of their underwriting locally, therefore they're used to VA loans. Although they do any type of loan, FHA, conventional, but they are very versed in the VA market, doing business with our Marines, our Air Servicemen, and our Army guys here at Fort Bragg. So Homefront Mortgage is a preferred lender. If you have clients that are looking for a mortgage company, we ask that you give Homefront Mortgage a call, and we will be glad to put you in touch with those guys for sure. Now, the next part of the booklet that you're going to turn to is page 6. On page 6, it begins to talk about communication. One of the things that we ask all our realtors to do is that use our new home consultants as their point of contact. We've selected new home consultants for each one of our many communities, and those people that represent that community are well versed in the product, the pricing, and the information about that community and the surrounding area. So whether it be the consumer personally or the cross-sell agent, we ask that the new home consultant be your point of contact. Now, we understand that during the process there might be times that there needs to be contact directly with H&H, whether it be myself or Wells Alderman, the other sales director, or even someone else in the office staff. One of the things that we ask, and the way we ask that communication to take place is, yes, you could give us a phone call, but we ask for it to either really be done through an email or follow a phone call up with an email. Now, the reason that we ask folks to do that is it simply benefits you on your part and us, because what it does is it helps to create a paper trail or a history of the communication that goes on between you, the realtor, or you, the buyer, along with us. So we kind of have a trail of all the communication that's gone and taken place during the process.